Hey Chemistry, Mr. McKee here, and today I want to review some basics of fractions with you all. So first thing is we got a list of kind of key points to try to do when you're solving fraction problems. Item number 1 up here says to look for things to cancel. Look for both numbers and units, and I'll show you some examples of this shortly. Item number 2 says to multiply any numbers that are in the numerator position, that's the top of the fraction, and to divide by anything that's in the denominator position. So there's a little bit of a mnemonic for you to remember. Times on top, notice they both start with T, and divide down, notice those both start with D. Okay? And again, I'll show you what I mean by this in the examples. Step 3, throughout the year, we're going to round all our answers to 2 decimal places, aka the hundredths place, and make sure you reach out if you're having trouble rounding. And item number 4 here, if it helps you out, you can always put a 1 in the denominator position as a placeholder. And again, I'll show you an example of that here in a moment. Okay, so let's get into the examples. You'll find these examples in your booklet. So the first thing I want to make sure that you understand is these tools here we call train tracks. So if you look at this portion of the table that I made, you'll see that it kind of resembles a set of train tracks. Really what this is a series of fractions. So this is the same thing as if we had 13.2 over 1 times 4.3 over 1 times 2.3 over 1.4. And I left off some units there. All right, so really what we just have is 3 fractions that we're multiplying together. But we're going to write them in this table because that makes things a little more nice and organized. And this is going to help us out later on with something that we do. But don't be confused by that, okay? All right, so this is the fraction line that separates the numerator from the denominator. Again, numerator on top, denominator on bottom. So I'm going to look for things, either numbers or units, that appear on both the top and the bottom of the fraction line there. And I see that I've got milliliters on both the top and the bottom, so I'm going to cancel that out. The reason I can do that is because if I'm multiplying by milliliters and then I'm dividing by milliliters, those two processes cancel each other out. They undo each other, so we might as well not bother with it in the first place. Same thing if we had a number that appeared on both the top and the bottom, we'd be able to cancel it out. Okay, so the trickiest part about this, perhaps, is how to put things into your calculator. So how we're going to do this is we're going to start by multiplying everything on top, and then we're going to divide by the numbers on the bottom. So when you type this into the calculator, it would be exactly like this. You put in 13.2 times 4.3 times 2.3 divided by 1 divided by 1.4, and then enter. Notice I only hit enter at the very end. That saves me from having to round multiple times in the process. So one more time, 13.2 times 4.3 times 2.3 divided by 1 divided by 1.4, enter. And when you do that, you should get 93.25 after rounding. And that would be grams, because you'll notice that we didn't cancel grams out, so we have to keep that in our answer. Now, if you're mathematically savvy, you might have said, why did McKee bother dividing by 1? And you are correct. That doesn't actually change the answer at all. I just kind of wanted to illustrate the process. If that was a number other than 1, we would have needed to divide by it. Okay? Let's look at the second example, and you can pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, welcome back. So again, we look for numbers that appear on both the top and the bottom, or for units that appear on both the top and the bottom of the fraction. And I see this thing called a mole. We're going to learn what that is here in a couple of days. It's something we'll use a lot in chemistry. But right now, all you need to know is that it appears on top and bottom, so those cancel each other out. Grams does not cancel out, so we know that our answer is going to be in units of grams. So now we got to punch everything into the calculator correctly here. So I put in 2.4 times 3.6 times 2.1 divided by 1, which again really isn't necessary, divided by 3.2, enter. So one more time, 2.4 times 3.6 times 2.1 divided by 1 divided by 3.2, enter. And when you do that and you round your answer to the hundredths place, you should get 5.67 grams. Okay, that's our two examples of fractions. Please complete the practice problems that follow, and as always, reach out if you need a hand with anything. Have a great day.